Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining BJ Rains today is KTVB Sports Director Jay Tust. Check him out on Twitter at KTVB Sports Guy and make sure to check out KTVB.com. Now here's Jay Tust and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, 2 regular season games ago, obviously be a tremendous challenge at Boise. Last year they beat us 3 times. We got them at our place, but obviously shorthanded. Shaver didn't play. And they're going to have a sold-out building on senior night. So it's a real challenge. I'm happy that we got a piece of the regular season title. And now we have to be selfish and try not to share it. And we have 2 games to do that, at Boise and our senior night Saturday against Wyoming.
Well, there he is, Brian Dutcher, setting the stage for tonight's game. Welcome on in, Bronco Nation News Live. BJ Rains, Jay Tust with you. Bronco Nation News social media channels. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And obviously make sure you're following Jay's work as a sports director at KTVB. And Jay, there's some days we do this show where there's not much to talk about or that there's the game's a couple days away or we're, trying to figure out how to fill 30 minutes. But today's not one of them, man. I woke up about 5:30 this morning and I was fired up and ready to go. And I think a lot of Bronco Nation in as well. This is one of the bigger home games in Extra Mile Arena in recent memory. You see now where, the prognosticators are dropping Boise State, right into the bubble. Doesn't really kill you or hurt you, terribly if you lose, but this would cement them in the NCAA tournament if they win. A sold-out Extra Mile Arena on senior night. It's going to be a special night tonight, Jay.
First things first, how often do we ever struggle to talk for a half hour about sports?
We struggle to go less than 40 minutes, I guess. But
You're right, though. Big game tonight over at the X, man. This is one of the best games in college basketball this week. Not just tonight, but this week. And I don't know how you can't be stoked about this matchup. San Diego State's rolling in 15 in the net. They're top 25, top 20 in the country. I've had them pretty much as high as anybody on my personal AP ballot for quite a while now. And so, it's going to be an awesome game. And Boise State has, probably, I don't even know if it's revenge, redemption. I don't know what it was, but all that I do know is that they, at full strength, believe they're a hell of a lot better than whatever they put together in terms of their performance at Viejas Arena back on February 3rd. So
yeah,
a motivated squad tonight, I would assume, at the very least.
And Marcus Shaver Jr. said that. We'll hear from him in a minute about the his absence in that game. Leon Rice talking about it as well. And obviously they're not going to make excuses, and that's kind of what I wrote about at BroncoNationNews.com if folks want to go check it out. But you're not going to make excuses. But you even heard Brian Dutcher in the open there admit, yeah, we got him at our place, but they were playing shorthanded. Because not only did he not have Marcus Shaver Jr., Tyson Degenhart was in foul trouble the whole game. Najee Smith was well less than 100%. And, the sold-out crowd will now be on Boise State's side, not, when they're trying to get the ball across half court going crazy against them. So I think the tides are certainly turned a little bit. And not to say Boise State's going to win the game, even though I think they have a great chance to. I just think this has a whole different look and feel than the one that we saw, about 4 weeks ago down in San Diego.
Yeah, and I feel like San Diego State's been clicking pretty well lately, too. I mean, they've won some close games. They seem to have that mojo that kind of matters at the end of games on their side. We saw Boise State really benefit from that last year with big time bucket shave, hitting a number of those clutch shots at the end of games. And it just feels like San Diego State, whether they're making them or forcing their opponents to miss them, they've been in a few of those games lately. I want to say their last 3 road games, BJ, I believe have all basically been decided by the buzzer. They forced, or at the buzzer, they forced 2 misses. Then, of course, they had to make just a couple of days ago down there in Albuquerque at the pit against New Mexico. That was, I mean, that was a big time shot by Lamont Butler, and he got it to go. And they get a win that, you know, secured them of at least a share of the Mountain West regular season championship, as you heard Brian Dutcher say. So they get 1 win. Any combination, their magic number is 1. Any combination of a Boise State, if Boise State loses one more time this season, or if San Diego State can if they win out, if they win 1 game, if they win 1 game, they secure the outright undisputed regular season championship and the 1 seed at the Mountain West Conference tournament. So
yeah, we want to hear your thoughts on the game tonight. The Idaho Central Credit Union YouTube chat. You nervous? You feeling good? You worried? That you let us know. We'll get to your comments here. The line is moving, and I had tweeted in Boise State's favor. I don't know if that's technically the correct term or not, but Boise State opened last night as a 1-point favorite, and at most spots, Jay, it's already up to 2.5, 2.5. So some money is coming in on Boise State in this game. You look at the scenario, San Diego State back-to-back road games. They chartered home Saturday, turned around on Monday, and come here. Obviously, we talk about the sellout crowd, senior night. Boise State's motivation coming off a loss on Saturday. San Diego State celebrating in the locker room already with the trophy as co-champions, coming off an emotional win. They call this a smash spot if you're a gambler. There's just the things line up where it's like, okay, I can see why a lot of the gamblers would look at this and say, Boise State is the right side tonight, but I don't think a lot of fans are probably that confident in thinking Boise State should be a favorite in this game tonight.
Yeah, that's interesting. I will say it shows you the respect that not people necessarily have for Extra Mile Arena, but that's what the metrics say at this point. I mean, we say the people down in Las Vegas are really good at making money. Well, they have computers that generate all these numbers that are good at making money for those people. So there's obviously some proof there that Boise State's really, really tough at home. And I mean, that the record speaks for itself. They haven't lost at home in Mountain West Conference play this season. And in most cases, they've probably won by double digits at home. And they've beaten some pretty good teams by double digits at home, namely a team like Nevada. But, I think the thing that's kind of interesting, BJ, we've been covering this program for such a long time. And I remember when San Diego State and Boise State would step on the floor, it was a contrast in styles, really. And now you look at them and they both do a lot of the exact same things really well, whether it be defending the 3, overall defense. They just do a lot of these things well. And if you even look at the KenPom adjusted defensive metric, Boise State's at 11, San Diego State's at 12. San Diego State's been a little more efficient as an offensive club this year. They're 43 in terms of their offensive efficiency, while Boise State's at 87th, although Boise State has made a considerable jump over the last 2 months in that metric. I would have to say if you just narrow those 2 months down together, they're like identical teams in terms of that stuff. And even if you look at pace of play, only a few, it's like a half a possession per 100 possessions that separate them in terms of the tempo they operate at. So it's no longer a contrast of styles. It's who can do what they do better. And we'll see if Boise State can do what they do better tonight.
Probably a lot of Cutwater spirits be flowing tonight in the Boise area and around town. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. And remember to drink responsibly. Ropaint.com, 15% off using that promo code BNN15. That's right. Just go on the website, roepaint.com, put in the promo code BNN15. You get 15% off the interior painting of your home. And they're also starting to schedule out for the spring for those concrete coatings for your garage, your back patio, your basement. So highly recommend it. We've had it done at our house, and you can get more information at ropaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, they'll buy your used car. That's right. Even if you don't want to buy from them, head on over to their location there, and you can get a free cash offer on the spot from the appraiser. They will buy your used car. You can get more information at Lithia Ford Boise, but I recommend doing what the Raines family did. Purchase a vehicle from them, and you can win a vehicle from them, Jay. They're doing the hole-in-one contest again at the golf tournament, so if folks are looking to play in the golf tournament, you can win a hole-in-one. You can win a car with a hole-in-one from Lithia Ford of Boise. We appreciate them. And Idaho Central Credit Union, our other major sponsor, ICCU.com. Check them out. banks locations across the Treasure Valley, across the state of Idaho, and they're ready to help you at iccu.com. The easiest mobile e-branch online banking I've ever used. So happy the Rains family made the switch, and they are sponsoring the golf tournament as well. Huge supporters of the local sports scene. I saw, Jay, they're sponsoring the Big Sky tournament. Obviously, they have the arena name down there as well. So big thanks to Idaho Central Credit Union, and I highly recommend you making the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union today. But, Jay, we have a special guest, by the way, that's going to come on. I won't waste any more of his time. You know what? He looks like he's ready to go. I didn't tell Jay about this. This is a special guest, even going to surprise Jay Tust here. We had to get the crowd fired up. We had to get everybody pumped, amped for tonight's game. And what better way to bring in than our friend Matt Bauscher to fire us up for tonight's game. Bausch, how we feeling, man?
I'm feeling really good. Does it get any better than tonight in Boise, Idaho? I mean, what more can we ask for as fans?
I just don't know how. I wish that it could already be 4 o'clock. I mean, it'd be nice if we could fast forward to the day. But I know it was a tough one against San Jose State. But what do you make of kind of where they sit on the bubble, and for you, kind of the importance of tonight's game?
Tonight's huge. I mean, it is huge for at large. It's huge for seeding. It's huge to try to get that 2nd seed instead of slipping to potentially the 4th seed. And not having to play, potentially San Jose State in the semifinal game. But it's a big game, and, ESPN has us winning. I like where their head's at. That's some good respect. And you saw what happened last night when Nevada got beat at Wyoming. I mean, the league is tough on the road, and Boise State has not lost a home game all year long in the Mountain West.
What is how excited were you when you saw the graphic come across that this game was officially sold out?
I knew it would be. I knew Bronco Nation would do it. There's no doubt. I mean, we owe it to our seniors. I mean, Naj, Milner, and Shave, I mean, everything they've done playing through injuries, early mornings, late nights. Those guys have given so much to our community, volunteering. I mean, it's been so much they've done for our community. We owe it to them.
And I'll let Jay jump in a second, but that New Mexico game the other night, Matt, it wasn't full. The ends were open, but that was as loud as of a arena as I've remembered at Extra Mile in a while. And every possession on defense, when New Mexico had the ball, there was noise, there was loud. I mean, what'd you make of the crowd the other night? And when you add 3,000 more people in there and the intensity tonight, how special could it be tonight, man?
Us at 12,006. I think it's like the Pit at 15,000. I mean, the Pit had to sell out. So San Diego State went to the Pit and saw a sold-out arena on Saturday. They hit the big shot, and now they come here to a sold-out arena. So they're used to it. They're going to be ready, and we just got to play our game, have fun, and play loose.
Bausch, as long as we're talking about the fans, I mean, you once played in front of them. You've seen this thing grow under Leon Rice over the last 13 years. How encouraging is it to see this happen? And at what point in time in a game does it actually matter? Like, at what point in time in a game do you hear the crowd go and all of a sudden it gives you that little adrenaline rush that you need to get a defensive stop or whatever it is?
In college basketball, playing at home, in my opinion, is 10 points. That's how big the crowd is, and that's how big momentum is. And you can hit 3 shots in a row, and it's 9 points in a minute. That extra rebound, the tip, the steal. It's massive. I mean, I don't think there's any sport that compares to home court advantage like basketball, especially college basketball, more than the NBA.
I was kind of talking about this with BJ right before you jumped on, but like when it comes to Boise State and San Diego State, it wasn't that long ago that they kind of were they had contrasting styles, right? But now all of a sudden they step on the court and they do a lot of the same things well. Like, so what do you see out of Boise State tonight? Like, how do you think they're going to do against San Diego State? And how have they got to this point where they can step on the floor with San Diego State any given night and feel like they got a great chance?
I mean, San Diego State's been a national powerhouse for many years now with the Fisher days, Kawhi Leonard. And you look at Leon when he joined the Mountain West. He came here to be in the WAC. He joined the Mountain West. Boise State's the second winningest team in Mountain West since Leon joined. Nobody talks about that. Second. I mean, that's impressive. But you look at San Diego State, they're 9 deep. I mean, everybody plays about 20 to 25 minutes. That is a positive with depth, rebounding, and being fresh. However, it's also negative with getting rhythm. You're going in spurts. You're not as confident. You're not getting as good flow. It's hard when you're only playing 17 to 22 minutes to have a lot of flow and a lot of rhythm. And I think that's often why their team really struggles on offense. They went to Fresno State and put up 45 points. How they won that game is beside myself. Even when we didn't have Shade, they still only put up 72 on us at home. So they have a hard time scoring. And we got to keep the ball, keep the game in the 60s. If first 1 to 70 wins the game.
You mentioned Shade.
Go ahead. I love that point by you, Bausch. I'll send it back to you in a second, BJ. But I love that point, Bausch, because I think you're right. Like, they count on, trying to find their rhythm and flow with a lot of moving parts. And sometimes they can, and when they do, it's really good, but sometimes they can't. And looking it up last week, every single one of Boise State's starting five averages more minutes than San Diego State's top minutes getter in Matt Bradley. So I think there's something to be said there. And we're getting to the time of year where you roll with your guys, and then that's usually your starting five.
Matt, what do you think about you mentioned Shaver being back? How big is that tonight?
Oh, it's huge. He's the silent assassin that, he keeps everybody composed, under control. They're going to try to go full court like they did in San Diego. Shaver slows it down. He'll dissect it. We'll make good passes. We'll get easy buckets. He's the calm guy, the calm floor leader that we desperately need.
Jordan says, hope you all are peeing clear this morning. Need those vocal cords nice and plump for the chaos tonight. Derek says, Boucher's got me ready to run through a wall. Like I said, you've been in that arena a lot of times, man. Just the anticipation for how loud and special it could be and the difference it could make. I mean, this has to be one of the more anticipated home games in a long time. And I know first place is not on the line, Matt, but you win this game, you're in the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, there's still a lot riding tonight, and the crowd needs to bring it, right?
And when I played back in the day or in pro, I would always think about the day, how many people are excited to come watch me, and they've worked really hard for the money, to put their fans and their kids in the stands or them. And, the concessions aren't cheap, and the parking and the inconvenience and the sleep. And I would remember that as a player, how much it meant to the people coming to the game. And now I'm on the flip side. I'm up at 4:45 this morning. I'm running 5 miles full speed. I'm pumped for the game tonight. And the players, I mean, that's special that you have that impact on grown men and women and kids, and the impact you have. And it's the Bronco way. It's the blue collar perspective, and I'm pumped. It's going to be good.
You're going to be in rare Matt Boucher fine form today there courtside, getting on the officials, getting the crowd pumped up. I mean, is this going to be is this the kind of game you wait 364 days a year for?
Do you think I'm just going to sit there and not do anything? It's going to be good. I mean,
well, you don't have Vern Harris tonight, so you're okay. You don't have to worry about Vern tonight, but blew out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and can't wait, man. Appreciate you for jumping on with us. I know you still have some houses to sell today. Hopefully folks will check you out. BoucherRealEstate.com. #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley yet again is Matt Boucher. No home too big or too small for Matt and his team. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, please consider using our buddy Matt Boucher, part of the Amherst Madison Real Estate Advisors, BoucherRealEstate.com. I saw Seth in the background there. He's probably selling a house. I mean, you guys are all working hard today, but appreciate you popping on, and we'll see you courtside tonight, man.
Thanks, BJ. Thanks, Jay.
There he is, Matt Boucher, one of the best, Jay. Always enjoy having him come on, and I had forgotten to tell you ahead of time that he was going to jump on for a few minutes. But if there was a guy that bleeds blue more and puts more time and effort and money, I mean, I don't think a lot of people know the financial investment behind the scenes he makes to this program for charter flights and things like that, Jay. And that the in terms of just guys that obviously you want to see the team do well for the players and the coaches and the fans and stuff, but there's not a lot of guys higher on that list than Matt Boucher that I was happy for when they won the championship last year, and would be super happy for if they can find a way to win tonight.
Hey, I agree. Bouch is awesome. He's meant a lot to this program, both as a player, but maybe even more as an alumnus of the university and of the basketball program specifically. But again, I love what he brought up about the rotations that San Diego State uses. They use a lot of bodies. Hey, I think come Mountain West tournament day 3, even day 2, that could be a huge perk for the Aztecs, just because they have tremendous depth. They can hit you in waves. At the same time, though, that does take some coordination, and if it's off, that means they might be a little more susceptible. And I do think we're getting to the point in time of year where even if you do play 8 and 9 on your bench, those guys their minutes are going to be dwindling, and you're going to ride with the guys that you trust the most, and usually those are the guys in your starting 5. As far as what he was saying about Shaver, man, the Broncos have been so competitive in conference play. Not only was Shaver on the floor, but was specifically with Shaver on the floor. It has been 733 days since they last lost a Mountain West game by double digits in a game in which Marcus Shaver Jr. played. I mean, that's back to like the COVID restricted schedules and all that stuff too. So whenever Marcus Shaver Jr. can play, not only is Boise State really good at winning, but just about every game is extremely, extremely competitive. And, last time they went down to San Diego State on February 3rd, Boise State only had 8 assists. They shot 36.5% from the field. I know that Shaver, his shooting percentage for himself isn't much higher than that, but he makes a lot of his teammates better due to his ability to drive and kick and all that stuff. So I just think that having him back will be invaluable for Boise State tonight.
And we'll hear from Leon Rice on Marcus Shaver in just a second, but I want to thank a couple more of our sponsors. Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking for a new job, check out TCS, transcomservice.com. They can help you every step of the way, get you into the trucking industry. If you want to be a truck driver, get out there on the open road. From the big rig on your screen to the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, they can help you out at transcomservice.com. You looking for a new dentist? How about BoiseDentistryCo.com? 5 locations across the Treasure Valley. Dr. Miner and his staff do a tremendous job. Full family dentistry. It's fun. It's easy, and you can get all your family in at one time, and then you don't have to worry about it for 6 months. They're very good with like the text messaging updates and things. So if you're like me, you forget your appointment like 3 times in a row and have to reschedule. They make sure that's not possible. Check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. You looking for business insurance? How about our friends at United Commercial Insurance? They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. 229-8222. Again, a quick call could save you hundreds of dollars on your business insurance. And we have a lot of business owners that watch the show here, so make sure you check them out at United Commercial Insurance. Ridley's Family Markets. Go download the Shop Ridley's app. ShopRidleys.com. You can find one of the 13 Idaho locations near you. You go download the Ridley's app in your Apple phone store, Google Play, and you get exclusive savings up to 40% off when you use the Ridley's app at Ridley's. The Cuna location is just like 10 minutes south of the freeway. It's a perfect location. And again, support the sponsors. Find a location near you at shopridleys.com. And last but not least, Jay, the blueandorange.store.com. Tonight is a blue out. They've got the blue Degenhart shaver, all the NIL shirts, all the coaches' sideline apparel, the retro logo. If you're looking for a new blue shirt for tonight's game to spruce up your collection, check them out. Second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall there next to Pro Image. And if you're not in the Boise area, you can get free shipping on any order over $40 at theblueandorangestore.com. I mentioned Jay Leon Rice talking about Marcus Shaver Jr. Here's what he said when asked about the difference he'll make in tonight's game.
We'll see. I mean, we don't make excuses, and that was it was tough not to have Mark. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. We're a different team without him, and that's, when you have a senior like that with that much experience, and you could say that about most teams. If you have one guy like that, take him out of any lineup, and it has a huge impact. And that certainly makes a big difference for us.
And Jay, another thing that's going to make a big difference is, nothing against Jace Whiting, but your first game playing at Viejas Arena when it's sold out and you're trying to get the ball across half court against some of those guys, as someone that was at Viejas Arena for that game and seated right behind the Boise State bench where they put the media, and just seeing firsthand in that first half where he was right in front of me and couldn't get the ball across half court. And not to say it's Jace Whiting's fault by any means, all his fault by any means. He had a couple turnovers, but other guys could have done a better job of coming down to help out. I mean, it was a team effort for sure. But you mentioned the calming effect that Marcus Shaver Jr. can have to slow things down. That will make a difference. But I also think when Boise State's trying to bring the ball up the court, not having 15,000 people seemingly on top of them is going to make a big difference as well. I think that crowd had a big difference in kind of it got going, and then it kind of just snowballed and got worse and worse there in the first half. Boise State actually outscored, don't forget, in the second half by 2 points in that game. So the first half, they just got down big and couldn't recover. You need a better start tonight. But I think for a lot of reasons, the combination of Shaver and the home crowd is really going to make things a little different.
Yeah, I mean, that was also back when Boise State was really struggling with full court pressure, right? And losing Marcus Shaver Jr. while you try to solve that problem that's a recipe for disaster. It is. And it's nothing against Jace, but he's a young guy that has really provided some nice moments. I'll remind you, he was the leader in plus minus just this last game for Boise State, not off the bench plus minus, but like overall, he had the best plus minus on the team in the most recent game for the Broncos. So he certainly can help, and he's been productive. But again, he's probably a guy that you want to more go to for giving Marcus a spell than counting on him to be Marcus Shaver Jr. just because Marcus is a unique athlete. So, and I think that obviously when you turn the ball over and you can't get the ball over half court or whatever, when you get full court pressure, that's like the focal point of it. But even when you struggle and then you finally do get it over half court, and you're going into your offensive set with 18, 17 on the shot clock, I mean, that really disrupts a lot of rhythm, right? And so being able to communicate in your offensive possession earlier, get set up, that will allow Boise State to be more effective, I would say, than they were last time against San Diego State. And another thing too, hey, I'm sure that this has been something that they have talked about and worked on at practice these last couple of days, but they got to do a better job on the glass. I mean, clearly. And I actually kind of skipped over the San Jose State game. Jason wasn't the plus minus leader of that game. It was the game before at home against New Mexico. Sorry about that, but they've got to do a better job on the glass. And even if you look at last time, you have to respond better when a team gets a chance to have second chance points. Last game against San Diego State, the Aztecs really only had 5 offensive rebounds as a team, but they had 11 second chance points. I mean, that's like every time they get an offensive rebound, not only do they get that, but they get the dagger to make you feel worse about yourself because you gave up the offensive rebound. And if you go back and you look at the San Jose State game, I mean, I think it was 15-0 in second chance points or something like that in favor of the Spartans.
Yep.
So Boise State has to figure that out. They have to be more physical on the glass. And if they do give up an offensive rebound, they have to find a way to respond better than they did these last game and against San Diego State earlier this month.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many keys, so many things that have to be different from whether it be the San Jose State game or the San Diego State game. But for me, one key for me is you can't let Nathan Mensah go for 17 points. He's more of a defensive center, a rebounding center, not a big guy that's going to score a lot of points typically. He's averaging 6.9 points on the season. You look at his, recent game logs. He's not scoring a ton of points. He only had 6 points at New Mexico, 6 points against Colorado State, 8 points at Fresno. But again, he's only scored in double figures. It looks like 4 times all season, or I guess it's like 5 or 6. But he hasn't had a lot of double scoring games, and he had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks against Boise State. He went 9 for 12 from the free throw line. So you have to find a way to limit Nathan Mensah. If he scores 17 points again tonight, Boise State's probably in trouble. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And that's going to be something that they have to figure out too, because they've obviously been playing pretty small up front. Mensah, I know he's not quite 7 feet, but dude is long and athletic. And I'm surprised. You said 9 of 11 at the free throw line. That might have been the best free throw shooting game of his career.
9 for 12, I think. Yeah, he had a big game at the free throw. Yeah, 9 for 12 at the free throw line, and he was 4 for 4 from the field. So free throws and field, he made 13 of his 16 shots in the game.
Yeah, that's something that Boise State's going to have to figure out too, and hopefully that Lucas Milner, he's their biggest bodied guy that can give them some runs. So hopefully he can wear on Mensah at least a little bit tonight and try to get him off of his game, or at least allow him not to make a big time impact on the game. But this is going to be just an awesome atmosphere for Boise State, and senior night, Shave going out. One of everybody's favorites, and Najee Smith is wrapping up his Boise State career here, and then of course Lucas Milner saying goodbye as well. So we'll see if the Broncos can send them all off on the right way. And I don't know the location, BJ, of this question that's popped up.
Sky's Chip wondering, is the football team sitting by the visitors' tunnel again?
I don't know if they've moved them or anything like that. Maybe not. It was a good spot for them last time, I guess, right? But from at least what we know, last time we heard is that the Boise State football team was supposed to be in attendance at the final 2 home games. So
they were supposed to be there for the whole game this game. They had 6 a.m. workouts or something last game. They left at halftime. I'd like to see them get a little more into it. I mean, the entire student section was standing, and you had the football players all just kind of sitting over there. So, it's great that they're there, but let's get a little energy out of them. But I've heard a lot of the sports teams will all be there tonight. They ran out of student guest tickets, so the student section probably will have its best effort of the season, as a lot of the coaches and stuff are getting their players to go to the games tonight or go to the game tonight. And it should be, from that standpoint, much more packed. Final minute or two here, Jay. I mean, you look at this importance of this game, the net ranking update. The Boise State really didn't get a switch in the net ranking. They lost one with Nevada, but gained one with Utah State. And Jordan says, I'd like to see Schultz and company in that corner, probably higher energy. So, softball team over in the corner instead of the football team, Jay?
Schultz would bring it. I have no doubt in my mind.
I think maybe we'll see him there. We need to make that happen. What do you make of just the importance on this game?
Yeah.
Joe Lunardi has dropped Boise State into his last 4 in. I will say that the Morales brothers have been very vocal about this, and it's true. If you go look at Bracket Matrix, it ranks like the top 100 bracketologists from the last 20 years or whatever, and Joe Lenardi actually ranks near the bottom. So he's the most vocal and the most visible because he's on ESPN, but traditionally he hasn't been one of the best. But he does now at Boise State after a quad 2 road loss in overtime, moving down like 6 spots to now in the last 4 in. What do you make, I guess, about their spot on the bubble? I don't think a loss tonight would, unless it's a blowout loss, would move them down. But I think a win tonight, 100%. They could lose at Utah State. They could lose in the first round of the tournament. I think a win tonight, and they are in the tournament, which is why it's such a big game, even if first place is not on the line. But what do you make of where they sit on the bubble and then the quad system and everything, and the importance on tonight's game?
I feel like you're right, man. I don't know if I'm going to go quite to the 100% level, but I'm pretty close, man. I feel like they just got to win one more game, like in any way, shape, or form, whether it be one of these next 2 or down at the Mountain West Conference tournament. I feel like and that's just to remain on the bubble. To be a lock, they get one of these next 2. I feel like they would have to feel really good about themselves. My only concern in that scenario is if somehow they get matched up with San Jose State in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. That'd be. You don't want to lose. I know San Jose State is better this year. I know it, but you don't want to lose to them twice in a 2-week.
I think Boise State would be just fine playing. I think they would be fired up as all get out after the way that game went. Like, bring on. I'd actually rather they play San Jose than New Mexico. But I see what you're saying from a net ranking computer system. It would be a worse loss to lose to San Jose.
Yeah, so I'm not like, again, I'm not even predicting that's going to happen. We're going doomsday device here, right? Like the worst case scenario. And so that would be one that would leave me like, I would be a little apprehensive or a little uneasy on Selection Sunday if that scenario plays out. But I really do think if they get one more win, I would feel really good about their chances of being a part of the NCAA tournament. And if they get it tonight, I would feel 99.9% certain that they've done enough to make the NCAA tournament. It's funny, man. Like, you look at a lot of these metrics that a lot of these people take into account, and I would say the net ranking is the most important ranking, but there's 12 members on the NCAA selection committee, and they all have like their own way of going about things. There is no set method that any of those individuals have to use, right? So there is some human element, even if that human element is using some type of metric. It's up to him or her to decide which one they're going to use or lean on the most. So I just going off the net, because we know that one is a very important one. Boise State, number 29, the highest ranked net team to ever get left out of the tournament was back in 2019, and it was NC State, who was 33rd at the time. You look at history, BJ, if you finish in the top 40 of the net, it matters on how many bid steals there are during conference tournaments. But if you finish in the top 40 of the net, generally you feel pretty darn good going into Selection Sunday about your chances to be a part of the NCAA tournament. And so we'll see if Boise State can do that. They are definitely on pace to. A game like tonight, even if you lose, as you mentioned, BJ, isn't going to hurt you much one way or the other. But if you win, it could be the cherry on top of your resume that makes you attractive on Sunday, Selection Sunday.
Somehow the one team behind Boise State is Wisconsin, who has a net of 72. It's like, what are we doing here? I mean, the power conference teams just get so much of the benefit of the doubt this time of year, and it really is sickening from that standpoint. But hopefully Boise State, again, get the win tonight. Don't worry about it. Hey, we got great viewership, so before we get off of here, quickly want to tell folks, if you're going down to Vegas for the conference tournament, we'd love to see you at Circa. Circa at Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. will be our party on March 8th. We're hoping to get maybe Jay Tust over there for a live shot. We'll have to see if we can get enough people, but going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some giveaways, teaming up with the Blue Collar Club. So check out Circa tonight, and we would love to have for Wednesday, March 8th. You can check it out tonight if you want. But Nate Staley did say, and that's why I said tonight, he's over there. I can't find his comment right now, Jay, but Nate Staley is at Stadium Swim tonight to watch the game. Jealous of if you can't be in the arena tonight, that's probably the next best place to watch it. But hope to see you at Circa Wednesday, March 8th for the conference tournament. That'll be coming up in a couple of weeks. But Jay, appreciate your time as always. Going to be a fun one tonight. We'll be following you on social media at KTVB Sports Guy on Twitter. You and Brady doing a great job there, KTVB.com. So appreciate you as always, man. Gut feeling. They win it tonight?
I think they're going to be juiced. I think they're going to be ready to go. I don't want to let my emotions dictate what you do with the betting windows, everybody. But I think that this is going to be an awesome. Down to the final 2 minutes is going to decide this game yet again, and I just think Boise State's going to be ready for this moment.
Well, they're going to have my wife and kids waving the Fatheads in Section 12 tonight. They got some seats there, and they're going to be honorary members of the Blue Collar Club in Section 12 tonight. So maybe that'll be the difference if you see Naismith and Nelson waving the Fatheads. But should be a lot of fun tonight. If you're going, be happy, be lucky, because I've heard a lot of people asking me, how do I get tickets? Where can I buy tickets? Like, it's a tough ticket. Like, you go on StubHub, Jay, it's like $45 for the cheapest ticket on StubHub right now. I mean, it's a legit tough ticket for tonight's game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. We're starting the pregame show at 6 o'clock. Abe Jackson will kick us off at 6 o'clock. Hoping to have Dan Dickow on live as well. He's doing the color. John Mallory, going to be a lot of fun. Come on by. If you're in the arena, we'll throw you on. We'll give you a second to say what your thoughts are on the game. Come on, walk by courtside. We'd love to have you say hello. It should be a lot of fun. 6 o'clock on the social media channels of BNN. And then again, we'll be back with the post-game show as well after the game. So make sure you're checking out KTVB.com. I'm sure they'll be live from the arena tonight as well. A lot going on. So Jay, appreciate it as always, and we'll see you, man. There he is, Jay Tust, sports director, KTVB. We'll see you guys later tonight. Check BroncoNationNews.com. We got full interviews and stories about tonight's game. Have a great day. Hope you can make it. Hope time goes fast till we get to 7 o'clock, and we'll see you at the X tonight. Take care.